Well, Facebook have unveiled a new plan ahead of the US 2020 elections. One of the key and most interesting parts of this announcement is the reason why Mark Zuckerberg has said that they've unveiled this new plan. He said on a Facebook post that he's worried that their election is so divided and election results could potentially take days or even weeks to be finalised in this pandemic election. He says there could be an increased risk of civil unrest across the country. He says this election is not going to be business as usual. So Facebook are shaking things up with regards to some of their major policies ahead of the elections a few weeks out now. So one of the key changes is with regards to political advertising. Their head of advertising on Facebook taking to Twitter saying that they're making a change to when political ads are allowed to be, new political ads are allowed to be run. The week before the elections, no new political ads will allowed to be run. The caveat there, though, is if politicians organise them in advance, they will be allowed to run on that week. It's just new political advertisements. The reason why for this is, according to the head of advertising on Facebook, to allow time for fact checks on eligible content. There's a question mark here as to what exactly eligible content really means. Will this affect political ads? We've reached out to Facebook. We're waiting to hear back. He also says that change will allow for re-reviews of policy violations and give people time to discuss and counter political messages, trying to slow down the onslaught of political messaging that week before. It's not a blackout, they said, just slowing this all down. But also there's going to be a slowdown of mass messaging on Messenger. There's often a difficulty with regards to viral content, slowing that down, allowing for facts to catch up. If a message has been forwarded a certain amount of times, you will only be allowed to forward it once at a time, slowing down those viral messages. But one of the key questions with regards to all of this is whether this is going to make a key change for politicians and political speech on the platform. Facebook here, for example, saying that they're making changes to voter suppression messages. Before, they said that any explicit message calling for voter suppression would be removed. They're also saying now implicit messages will also be removed. But does it mean that this will be the case for politicians? We do know that Mark Zuckerberg has always been slow to wade in on political speech. He has constantly said that it is not Facebook's place to be wading in on what is true and what is not. What is the arbiters of truth for political speech? So will all these changes affect some of the leaders with regards to politics in the United States? That's a question we've reached out to Facebook for. They've yet to get back with regards to that. But key changes all ahead of the US elections, and we're waiting to hear back with regards to that from Facebook.